29,990 Rs is the price you will pay for the new Himalayan that has just arrived in Brazil. And besides the renewed look, it also comes with a 40 horsepower engine, a dashboard with integrated global positioning system, and lots of technology. I'm here in Cambará do Sul, in Rio Grande do Sul, at the invitation of Royal Enfield to test their newest adventure bike. And in this video, you'll learn all the technical features, onboard technology, the colors, and available prices because there are several versions. And besides that, you'll hear directly from the Chief Executive Officer of Royal Enfield why it took so long to arrive and how the after-sales service is going. If you're new here, I'm Amanda Pagliari, and this is the most charming motorcycle channel in Brazil, which also brings you the best launches on the internet. So go ahead and hit the like button, subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any videos. A bestseller for the brand here in Brazil for many years, the Himalayan is getting a second generation. According to Royal Enfield, everything has been changed. A new generation, an evolution, actually a revolution of this adventure model. The cool thing is we have the entry-level model at 29,990 Reais and also a more expensive version. I'll discuss the changes shortly, but first, let's explore the similarities between the versions. Everything you'll find in all versions, including the cheapest one. Starting with the chassis, the reinforced, renewed structure of the motorcycle. And here we have the luggage rack, which was controversial in the first generation. People had to reinforce it themselves, but according to Royal, that's over now, it's in the past. Why? In fact, they have an aluminum top case and side cases, so they guarantee it, of course, as long as you don't overload it with too much weight. For this model, like most on the market, there's a load limit. If you don't go over that limit, you can use a top case and everything else, and you won't have any problems. So I really think Royal Enfield did a great job with these improvements that people complained about a lot in the first generation. The center of gravity, the mass is totally concentrated down here, and we can really notice that. The bike became more compact, slimmer, and because of that, it's easier for us to put our feet on the ground. As you can see on the screen, the seat height can go as low as 80 centimeters, 80.5 centimeters from the seat to the ground. That's really good for most Brazilians, right? Short men and women, right? Many times they can't ride a big trail precisely because of the height issue. However, regarding the standard seat that comes with it, let me show you here. It's on the center stand, which already comes standard. That's a really good thing, just like the skid plate protector. Well, for me, since I'm 5'10", I can put both feet on the ground, right? Okay, the ground here is uneven, but I can still do it, all right? The good thing is that this seat here, it can be adjusted by 2 centimeters. There are 4 adjustments you can easily make. Under the seat, you can adjust it from 82.5 up to 84.5 for taller people. If you're shorter, you can buy the low seat as an accessory, and it also has a height range. The design has been redesigned. And unlike the first generation, which was more boxy, let's say, now it has more rounded lines. I have to admit, I like them better. However, this retro vibe, this retro feel that Royal Enfield has in its DNA hasn't been forgotten. For example, here, the round headlight. So, you can see that even though it's more modern, more standard, let's say, it still carries the DNA of the first Himalayan. You can tell it's a unique motorcycle. It features full LED lighting, including the headlight, taillight, and now the turn signals as well. The engine is completely new. Nothing from the first version was used in this one. So we have an engine with a new platform, this Sherpa, and it's 10 kilograms lighter. So it's really an optimized engine, very efficient. It's the first Royal Enfield engine with liquid cooling, and let's see if it's really built to last. I believe it is. People are very excited about this new platform, and it's getting great reviews even abroad. I think it has everything it needs to succeed in Brazil. It's a Torquay engine, so it's not focused on top speed, and it has 452 cubic centimeters, which produces 40 horsepower at maximum and 4 kilograms of torque at 5,500 revolutions per minute. In short, this engine delivers optimal performance at medium and low revs. Even at around 3,000 revolutions per minute, you can feel its full power. And that's really good. Why? Because off-road, we drive at low speeds, so we really need an engine that in first, second, or third gear has that range of power. It's an engine that comes with 6 gears and a slipper and assisted clutch. The assisted technology makes the clutch lever smoother when you shift gears, and the slipper technology prevents the rear wheel from locking up when you downshift abruptly. It has more built-in technology, so we have electronic ride-by-wire throttle, which is really good, ABS that you can turn off. Actually, there are 4 riding modes. So you have the economy mode with ABS on and ABS off, and also the traditional mode, which is all focused on performance with ABS on and ABS off. So that's really cool because in a very simple way, you can turn off the ABS on the rear wheel. The dashboard is a 4-inch round color thin film transistor screen. Very beautiful. This dashboard is really charming and also very high-tech. You have this analog style display, then you press and hold here on the panel and it changes so you get more information. Down here you have the gear indicator, speedometer, odometer information and everything else, right? Look, it even gives you the clock, temperature, and down here the fuel gauge. But up here, with the app connected, you can change various information. So here you have the settings, right? You can configure several things, including the information like notifications and everything else. And you can also view the trip computer information. So for example, trip 1 here, you have the kilometers per liter. It's showing 27.5 for fuel consumption. Royal Enfield said it's around 28 kilometers per liter, but of course it depends on the rider, average speed, and you also have how long you've been riding, right? Very interesting. And you also have the other information. The cool thing is that with the app connected, right? From Royal Enfield for free, as you can see on the screen, you have access to integrated Google Maps. You don't need to install a global positioning system. Everything is on the dashboard. And Google Maps is really good, right? Since it has maps of the whole world. It has a USB Type-C port right here under this little cover. On the front suspension, we have an inverted fork from Showa with a sturdy diameter of 43 millimeters and a travel of 200 millimeters. And in the rear, we have a monoshock with 200 millimeters of travel and adjustable spring preload. On the discs, we have a diameter of 320 in the front with calipers from Baibo, which is a subsidiary of Brembo in India. And in the rear, a disc with a diameter of 270 millimeters. And it comes with AeroKeep hose, which is a steel mesh that doesn't expand at high temperatures. Anti-lock ABS system on both wheels, and as I mentioned, you can turn it off on the rear directly from the dashboard very easily. Spoked wheels, 21-inch in the front, 17 in the rear. And this is where we find the differences between the versions, besides the colors, of course. We have the more affordable entry-level version here with a wheel that uses an inner tube. You can notice that the spokes are attached at the center, while in the top-of-the-line version, along with the white color, the spokes are attached on the outside, so you have tubeless tires. In other words, for 29,990 reais with shipping included, so no matter where you are in Brazil, that's the price you'll pay. You already get all the built-in technology, global positioning system, electronic throttle, inverted suspension. The mechanical and technological parts don't change, only the wheels. It's important to mention that you have the accessories, including the tubeless wheel, which you can buy as an accessory. But then, Amanda, why would I buy it as an accessory? For example, this color here is only available in the more affordable entry-level version. But let's say you love this color, but you would like it with a tube. What do? You just buy the wheel. And not only that, this accessory here, besides the skid plate I mentioned, the center stand, you also have this fairing guard here, but it's functional. There are some little slots here, right, where you can secure luggage. So Royal Enfield thought of everything. They thought about making the motorcycle smart. So you're already going to use the guard, but you can also secure luggage, right? And speaking of luggage, wow, they have a bunch of accessories and they're running a pre-sale promotion right now, right? That the complete kit you're seeing on the screen costs 10,000 reais. I thought it was really good, but it's limited. Besides that, you can buy, let's say, just the side case kit and top box. You can buy that. You can buy just the carry-on or just the windshield. So that's really cool that you have the complete kit there. You have two versions, rally and also touring for you to travel, but you can buy the accessories separately. Finally, I wanted to mention the exhaust. Royal Enfield greatly improved it from the bulky first generation to a minimalist design, which I really appreciate. And now, with the technical presentation done, let's see in practice how it performs here in this region of Rio Grande do Sul, which is 200 kilometers, all off-road, outside the main roads. So, I'm really excited, and which color do you think I'm going to choose? Write it down here below. Come with me, girl. My impressions of the Himalaya at this event, in this hardcore use here. It's going to be a hit. It's a great purchase option. And I'll say it right now. Better than the Scrambler, better than the Sarah, and better than the Versys 300. The bike is amazing. The machine is amazing. The only thing that might make a lot of people not buy it, especially if they've already been a Royal customer, is the after-sales service, the parts and the customer service. And that's something I'm going to ask the Chief Executive Officer, the Director, Gabriel Patini. Soon I'll ask them what Royal Enfield is doing to solve this issue that many owners and former owners have complained about. There will be a review with the positive and negative points of this motorcycle. Today is just an introduction video, but that's it. The machine itself, I think it's good. As for durability, whether the frame is sturdy, this and that, we'll only find out through actual use with the owners. This motorcycle should be costing around 35,000 reais with the technology it has. With the accessories, wow. It should be costing even more than that. I hope Royal Enix doesn't hear me, but when you're riding the bike, it doesn't even feel like it weighs almost 200 kilos. You can see the terrain I'm riding on, and the bike is handling it really well. The suspension, guys. It's absorbing everything exceptionally well. With amazing suspension, there's no rebound in my hands. My hands aren't getting tired. Electronic throttle ABS that you can turn off. Where else do you see that on the market for 30,000 reais? Tell me, write it here in the comments. A bike with this 40 horsepower trail engine, with this very easy to ride ergonomics, a dashboard with Google Maps connectivity. Tell me, in Brazil, what can you buy for 30,000 reais? So far, I haven't gone over 90 kilometers per hour, and I admit that up to now, the vibration is super controlled, just what you'd expect from a single-cylinder engine. And I'll tell you, it vibrates less than a lot of single-cylinder bikes we have on the market. But we'll only really know if it vibrates at high speed. So keep watching, because if I find a straight stretch to speed up, I'm going to twist the throttle here. Well guys, out here on the road, I really miss having a tall windshield. You have to buy one, there's no way around it. I was surprised. I thought the engine would vibrate more, but no. Above 150, I thought it had good power, you know? It wasn't dying. It does get a little strained. There's no way around it. You do feel the vibration, but if you stay in the range up to a little over 5,000 revolutions per minute, if you ride at 120 kilometers per hour comfortably, which is the speed on most of our roads, right? You'll ride just fine. And the top speed of the Himalayan, let's check it out. We stopped here to refuel, guys, but what I actually wanted to show you... It's right here, look. The quality of this little foot. You even have a certain... it's really sturdy. Here, when you're going to lower it, it stays very firm. I liked it. And it leans over really well. In other words, it will lean over nicely, and there won't be a risk of it standing up again and falling. I wanted to show you this detail. Let's fuel up and continue the ride. Whoa, look at that! Jesus, Jesus! Lunch break during the ride, I want to show you a little bit of the camp in the clouds that Royal Enfield set up for us here. Look how beautiful it is. I'm at the Boa Vista Canyon and look at that amazing barbecue over there, an accordion player. My God, what more could I want in life? I just want to set up my tent here and never leave. Tube tire or tubeless tire? Look, this bike here fell over. It wasn't Mandinya, but look, can you see here that the rim got bent? I don't know if it would be leaking if it were tubeless. So, there really are people who actually prefer to take a tube on a trip, 2-3 tubes, in case something happens, right? The person can just change it, because I'm not sure that if it were the tubeless version, it would be leaking, and then you would have to straighten the rim and everything so that the air wouldn't leak. So that's, At first, I thought it was bad, like, why not make all of them tubeless? But that might be something to consider. And what about you? Do you prefer with or without an inner tube? Write it here in the comments.
I've already warned you that this is going to go wrong.
I'm going to fall.
And so as not to disadvantage those who weren't paying attention to the play, let's show it again with the magic of instant replay.
There's a stuffy air here, isn't there? Oh, darn. It really is slippery. I'm here. I'm so nervous I could barely breathe. Ouch! Ouch! Go Brazil! Brazil! Oh darn. So shall we? Oh darn, I did well at the worst moment. Let's go, I didn't buy land on Earth. So far, I'm not going to buy it until the end of the video. Water doesn't count because you don't pay property tax on it. Only big plots of land count, solid ground blessed by God. After this amazing ride, you can see that the bike is tough. It even fell on the rocks at the S crossing and the bike is still here. Look, it's running. The bike can handle it. Mandinia, I'm not so sure, but the bike just keeps going. That's it, guys. Now, let's wrap up the video with the price. And enjoy the party that Royal Enfield prepared for us. Let's go. Before finishing the video, I brought here Gabriel Patini, who is the Executive Director for Latin America at Royal Enfield, to answer a few questions. First, congratulations on the event. Congratulations on the motorcycle. It's amazing. And I wanted you to comment on what it represents since you mentioned that it's a new milestone.
For us, this is the most important launch for the company in recent years. It represents a new era for Royal Enfield. So here we have a 100% new platform, a 100% new engine, liquid cooling, electronic throttle, 40 horsepower, 4 kilograms.
Global positioning system on the dashboard.
Global positioning system on the dashboard. So as a product, it's a game changer for Royal Enfield. You'll see when the customer rides it, you who are interested. It has nothing to do with any other Royal. It has nothing to do with the old Himalayan. Yes, it keeps some features of toughness and...
Why did it take so long? You were waiting. Why?
Wait.
It's over.
Several factors, right? First, we have the issue of approval, right? Approval in Brazil is very complex. It requires tests witnessed by Brazilian authorities. So we did the tests last year.
There was a line last year, right? Everyone decided to make changes.
Everyone was launching motorcycles. We could have even launched this motorcycle at the end of last year. We decided to hold off for 2 reasons. All the motorcycles, the 2026 model, and secondly, so we could accumulate a large number of motorcycles in Brazil.
In production?
So we already have more than 3,000 or 4,000 Himalayan motorcycles in Brazil. We're going to release batches of about 750 motorcycles each month. So March is the first batch, starting on the 19th at 7 p.m. and
the employees have begun work.
We've already invoiced the motorcycles, so we want to launch with motorcycles, learning from the Super Meteor. We're learning, we're preparing better, with better and better planning from Royal Enfield Brazil. So I think there might be more demand than the number of motorcycles we have available, but the idea is to have as little waiting time as possible for customers.
And still talking about production, which is very important because I think the Super Meteor is a success. I think it just didn't sell more because it wasn't available at the dealership. I'd like you to comment on production. You are in partnership with DAF Multilaser as well. How is the production situation going? Is there a chance we might get a factory maybe? Can we get a spoiler?
So how are we today? We have a contract with DAFRA, right? It's interesting, I'll even share some details that aren't usually shared, but we have a contract with DAFRA that sets a maximum number of motorcycles. Today, DAFRA produces 40% more than the contract. So we're already at the limit. They're already pushing. We're already at the limit of what DAFRA can produce for us. So there was a need to have a second factory in Manaus, and now we're starting with the Multilaser group. We started doing the first tests in January, and from March we'll begin large-scale production, so we'll be ramping up production month by month. Our expectation is that by June of this year, 2025, we'll have Multilaser at peak production and DAFRA at peak as well, so
We're going to double production.
The idea is to have motorcycles available. With this product, there might still be a feeling that more motorcycles are needed, but we have limitations as a company in the short term.
With a large lineup, it also ends up cannibalizing sales. It's not just a matter of 3 or 4 models. And also, well, it's a sales success. There's a waiting list. Now, I'd like you to talk about a topic that I think a lot of people question, many customers, regarding after-sales service. So what is Royal Enfield doing in terms of parts and after-sales service?
I can break it down into a few factors. First is our workshop capacity. So from February last year to this February, we've already doubled the size of our workshop in Brazil. We had 85 service lifts and now we have almost 160. That's because we increased the number of dealerships in Brazil, but we also expanded the existing dealerships. So we expanded the workshops at almost all the dealerships in Brazil. Secondly, we just launched a training academy in 2025, which is...
Oh, training the workforce.
All Royal Enfield technicians are trained in person on all products. So for this product here, we've already had 2 weeks of training for the dealership network to take the product apart from end to end. The third point is parts. In the last 3 months, we've increased our parts stock in Brazil by nearly 40%. We're preparing for growth as we know Royal will grow significantly in Brazil, and after-sales service is crucial to us. We want customers to be satisfied with their motorcycles for 3 to 5 years.
Absolutely, and it's durable, right? Made to last, correct? That's right, thank you.
Thank you, Amanda.
I love the ride here with the new Himalayan 450. You can really tell it's a new generation, a new story, a new milestone in Royal Enfield's history. It has technology that we don't even see in the twins, which are even more expensive and bigger, and I think for sure Brazilians deserved a product like this in the mid-displacement range that we've wanted so much. And with the price, guys, you won't believe it, but I've already said it, but really, for the technology it has and the price of a 160cc bike, it's incredible. Now I'm going to tell you about the versions. And the entry-level version already including shipping costs 29,990 reais. The version with the golden wheels, but with an inner tube, costs 30,990 reais. As for the other two versions, the black with gold and also the white with tubeless wheels, 31,990 reais, final price for all of Brazil. So that's it. If you like the video, leave a like and share it with your friends. I love the price, I love the product, and I'm sure you'll like it too. So go ahead and send it to your WhatsApp groups. And of course, subscribe to the channel, because as soon as I do the detailed review with the pros and cons, you'll be the first to know. In 2025, many new releases are available, including from Royal Enfield. Stay updated on the Motoplay channel. See you next time, Moto Kiss!